this gentleman. He got his start by being in the hotel lobby of a National Speakers Association conference. Now he oversees, you've heard this letter, CSP. Say it with me. CSP. Certified Speaking Professionals, right? He oversees the program now, and he does that all while he's helping professionals, leaders, and entrepreneurs transform stale thinking into fresh results. Let's get cooking with Frank Kitchen!
Let's have some fun, all right?
Let's have some fun. Frank Kitchen, everyone.
All right. Hands, has anybody here ever been hungry? Okay, so we got the hands up there. Has anybody here been hungry for something that you didn't know how to cook? Now, I'm not talking about food because many of you are thinking about food right now, but what I'm talking about is your career and your business. Has there been something that you've been hungry for in your business that you didn't know how to cook up? Have you felt that there's barriers to prevent you from achieving those results? Well, I understand exactly what all of you are thinking because for me, the big thing that I wanted to cook up was to be here in front of you today. But I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know if it was going to be possible. I mean, when you think about it, look at this guy right here. Frank Cornelius Kitchen. I mean, I showed this picture to you because this was the kid who got voted runner-up for quiet and shyest in high school. The person who won in high school sat next to me in the lunchroom. But now I'm up here on stage in front of you. The other reason I show this picture to you is this is proof to me that my mom is evil. Because I want to do great things in my life. I wanted to become a professional speaker, but when you look like this, I had hair. Or when you dress like this, that's not why I thought she, was evil. But look at the name that she gave me. Frank Cornelius Kitchen. There are 21 letters in my name. How many letters are there in the alphabet? I am 5 short. Now, for all of us, we are business owners and we are speakers, and many times we have to sign contracts. But have you ever noticed? They never really have you sign your full name on contracts. They ask you to initial here, here, and here. And when your mother gives you these initials, you're wondering what is possible. Yeah, it isn't uh-oh. Because let me explain to you about my mom. My mom was a catalog mom. Now, for people who are at home who don't understand catalog, Mom, because the catalog predates the internet. I mean, everybody right now is so used to Amazon, and we complain if things don't show up within 6 to 8 hours. Catalog, Mom, back in the day, we had Spiegel, Fingerhut, Montgomery Ward, and you would go order something for your child. And many times, understanding it's going to show up 6 to 8 weeks later, and probably the wrong size, to go, would you like to make your child feel amazing? And usually my mom would check off the box that says yes. And amazing meant whatever you ordered your child would show up with their initials on it. So you can imagine the trouble that was caused. And I went to go to my mom, like, Mom, why would you do this to me? People call me living room, bathroom, dining room. But then no one's going to date me with these initials. And she goes, go talk to your father. Now, my father served in the U.S. military. And he loved military history. And one of the people that he loved most in military history was Ulysses S. Grant. My name is almost Frank Ulysses Kitchen. Oh. Now, I'm here to let you know, after years of therapy, I'm here to be with you tonight. Now, the funny thing is, I wanted to become this professional speaker, and I was wondering, with this last name, with these initials, what's going to be possible? And why I was thinking about it, because many of us will think about what we want, but that's passive. We will start to talk about what we want, but that's passive also. I mean, you heard Tim talk about it earlier. In order to do great work as a speaker, you have to take the actions. And for many of us, raise your hand if this has ever been you, we talk about it all the time, don't we? And the thing is, the more we talk about something, the farther away it gets. For years, I had talked about being a speaker. I talked about training, wanting to travel the world. I used to work at a college, and my students came up to me and go, hey, Frank, you challenge us to live our dreams. What are you doing to live yours? They believed in me being a speaker so much, they actually reached out to a speaker agency behind my back and signed me up. Yeah. It's great to have some people who believe in you more than you believe in yourself early on. So So I did sign the contract and I started speaking, but I was like, you know what? This will be a fun side job. And that's how I treated it for a long time. But then one day, something special happened. I mean, does anybody know the day when you finally committed to your big dream? Can you remember that date? I mean, for me, that date was June 18th, 2025. 25. No, wrong date, 2015. I'm thinking about this year. Thank you for correcting me there. But it's 2015. I mean, and if you look at it, 2015, I mean, does anybody know what day of the week June 18th, 2015 is?
A Wednesday.
It is not a Wednesday, but that's close. Anyone else? It's a Thursday. Now, June 18th, 2015, does anybody here know where you were? I know where I was. I was in Phoenix, Arizona, and I was invited to have a meeting with my boss. Because for about 7 or 8 years, I've been talking about this professional speaking dream, but anybody here, have you had the point where you say, I'm going to wait until the perfect time? So that year I said, you know what? I'm going to keep doing this job until I can find the perfect time to go after the speaking dream. So I'm going to work for this company where I was selling technology to schools and education. I was helping with the sales team, and I was helping with the implementation team. And I was up for a promotion. I said, you know what? The speaking dream for about 7 or 8 years is a fun thing to chase after, but you know what? It's time to get serious. Let me just go ahead and buckle down and go do a great job. So I got invited to a Panera Bread company. Now, it sounds kind of funny. The guy named Kitchen is going to Panera Bread to meet with his boss. And I'm going out for a lunch there, and we're going to be talking about this program that I've been going through as far as retraining. We're talking about my promotion. So I was excited. I told my wife, I'm like, hey, this is the day where I'm going to go get the promotion. I was like, and things are going to go change. She's like, awesome. So, you know, my wife got me dressed up, and I go down to this meeting. Now, when I get there, has anybody here been super excited about something? And you're talking super fast, and you're just bouncing around, and you're right. That was me. I got there, saw my boss, and I was like, hey, he's like, what are we going to do? I want to talk to the clients. I'm like, I'm going to be going to New Mexico. And he's like, Frank, hold on. Let me just get you lunch. So he ordered me lunch. And I was like, so what are we going to, he's like, let's go sit down and talk about it. So we went down to the table, and we sat down to talk about it. And I started to talk more, and he goes, Frank, wait. I'm like, what do you mean, wait? And at that moment, he reaches down by the side of the table. He had his bag there, and he pulls out a blue folder. Now, does anybody here have those folders in their office that you use over and over again? You know, you just keep changing the label because we're trying to watch our funds. Well, this was a light blue folder, and it came across the table. And when it came across the table, and I opened it up, it was my termination paperwork. I'd gone into this Panera expecting to get a promotion or a raise, and now I'm finding out that I'm about to be fired. Now, I started to ask questions like, well, why am I being fired? And they go, Frank, we really like you. How can you like me if you're firing me? What did I do wrong? You've done nothing wrong, but you're firing me. And then when I open it up, here's a letter that they gave to me. Now, I'll let you scan through the letter right now as you're going through this, but here's the fun part was, they go, Frank, well, we liked you so much, we fought hard for you, we talked to the owners of the company, and you have a choice. You're going to be fired, but do you want to be fired tomorrow, or do you want to be fired next week? You choose it right there. You can see the line there. I have either the choice of June 19th or June 26th. Now I'm going to ask you a question right now. If you're not expecting to be fired, which choice would you take? Next week. Thank you so much, Brian. Brian is honest. Next week, so I'm not planning to be fired. Now, should I explain that why I've been chasing after the speaking career? This is now the 4th time that I've lost a job in like the last 5 years. Not because of poor performance, but hey, when you're the last guy in, you're the first guy out. So the decision I made was, well, hey, I need some income coming in, so let me go ahead and take next week. But let me be honest why I took next week. My wife was a teacher. She didn't renew her contract. She didn't renew her contract because at this time, she is 6.5 months pregnant.
Oh, yay.
Yay. Been there, done that. Now, for the people who said yay, I'm going to ask another question for you right now. I'm going out now to this parking lot wondering, what should I go and do? Because now this is the 4th job that I've lost. I'm like, I've moved to be with this woman to get married. Now we're having kids. We've got a 2.5-year-old at home. What do I do? Do I go home and tell her the truth, or do I make something up?
Truth.
Okay, did you see what happened here in the room? For the people who are at home right now, if you can't see this or hear it, all the women in the room said, tell the truth. All the men got very quiet, and their heads went down. Well, I did going home to tell the truth. But the thing was, I pulled into the driveway and I got back home early. And when I got home early, she knew something was up. So she asked what happened. I told her I got fired. And then there were tears, lots of tears. I mean, anybody here have kids? You ever have your point where your kids are crying, but they're crying so hard and they're sobbing they can't get words out? It's like, that's what we had. We had tears. And once I stopped crying, we had to determine, what are we going to do? Because when I say what are we going to do, that date, June 18th, 2015, that is Father's Day weekend. So I'm being fired on Father's Day weekend with a 2.5-year-old and another child on the way. And if that's not bad enough, every Father's Day, we go to New Mexico to see my wife's parents. We always will celebrate Father's Day with them. So now I've got another decision, which I'm going to ask for all your input right now. Do I lie? Because now we got to go to New Mexico. Should we go? So I'm going to ask right now, should we go to New Mexico?
Yes.
Okay, everybody said yes. But now when I go to New Mexico, what do I say? Nothing. Okay, so all of a sudden now we have a flip here in the audience. Early on, the women were like, tell the truth. Now they're saying, make something up. Even the men are just going, more power to you. But let me explain why we're saying, should we go? We're in New Mexico, okay? We're going to go there to New Mexico. My wife is my father-in-law's youngest daughter. Uh-oh. Wait, now it's going to get even better. My father-in-law is of Hispanic and Mexican descent. English was not his first language. So I'm supposed to go walk up into his house and say that I have no job, that his youngest daughter has his third grandchild on the way, and I want to make my life running my mouth? Now what should I do? Got really quiet here for those of you back here. Some people like just call in sick, say the dog ate the homework. Some people said COVID. COVID didn't exist back then. I had to decide what to do, and we said, you know what? We've got to go. We've got to step up to the plate. So we decided to jump in the car and drive. Now, while we're driving in the car, for some reason, my wife, Kelly, is able to sleep. I can't sleep because at this point I'm going like, how did I get here? And this is the story for all of us as speakers. There comes a point where we talk a good game, we think a good game, but we don't really put the work in. I mean, I was going to Lamaze classes telling people, hey, I'm a speaker, but I wasn't getting booked. We get really good about talking about something, but do we actually put the work in? And for me, during the drive, I started to recognize this. I recognized that my stale thoughts, okay, my stale thinking had turned into stale results. I mean, I'm going to ask all of you right now, what does stale mean to you? Outdated, okay?
Bad bread.
Bad bread. Tasteless. Have any of us ever felt this way in our career? That idea, that program, that thing has gotten old. It's tasteless. It's tired. It's expired. We don't know if we want to go do it. But I heard somebody talk about bread. Has anybody here ever had French toast? What's the best bread for French toast? The stale old bread, the brioche bread, right? I started to recognize, like it says on the slide here, if you look at the slide, it says, the person most responsible for the results that you produce looks at you in the mirror every day. I was allowing things to go stale because I wasn't putting the work into it. And recognizing that it wasn't the agency's fault, it wasn't anybody's fault. I mean, as speakers, I was not sending out emails. I was not making phone calls. I was not stepping on stages to speak. That's how we all get booked as speakers, as coaches, as trainers. Not by talking or thinking about it, but by putting in the work. So I looked at my wife in the car when she woke up and I go, hey, I'm going to ask you for a favor. I go, and I've got adults here so I can say it. I was like, I've been half-assing this for 8 years. I have not put in the work. Can you give me 1 year of full commitment to this dream? And she said yes. So I got this yes part now, and I'll be honest. The reason I was asking for 1 year of full commitment to this dream was I knew it was going to take 6 to 8 weeks to ever even get a job and lucky enough to get a paycheck. So like, let me figure out what we can go and do. So my wife has got my backing, and we're halfway through the trip now. But now I start to come to the reality of I got to go up into my father-in-law's house. And here's why I'm scared, why I'm worried. Did I mention that he's ex-military? Served in Vietnam? And he lives in New Mexico, Has anybody seen the show Breaking Bad? There are places to hide the body. So I'm wondering what we're going to do. So we pull into the driveway, and I'm like, okay, do we just hang out here for a week and don't tell them what happened? But as soon as I walk in the house, hey, Frank, how's it going? What's up, Poppy? How's your job going? Right off the bat, he starts asking the question. And I explained to him that I've lost my job. Now, being a caring, parent, and he knows that he's got another grandchild on the way, he goes, well, what are you going to do? What's your plan? And by a show of hands here, is there anybody here where you've got some people who believe in you more than you believe in yourself? And sometimes they speak for you before you speak for yourself? That's my wife, Kelly. Because when he goes, what's your plan? Before I even got words out of my mouth, Kelly goes, we have a plan. We do? And she goes, tell my dad about that thing. And then she says some scary words that I still remember to this day. She goes, take my dad with you. Now, she said, take my dad with you. I had signed up for a speaker showcase there in Albuquerque, New Mexico, because I was going to leave my job before they left me. This was going to be the year I started my dream, but I was going to wait for the perfect time, of which the perfect time happened that Father's Day weekend. So when she says, take my dad with you, here's where it gets scary. I'm starting my speaking career. I'm going to the speaker showcase where people are going to watch me and hopefully book me. But I got to take my father-in-law with me and have him in that room? No pressure. Anybody here have teenagers? I'd signed up for a youth leadership conference. So I'm about to have 200 high school student leaders from all around the United States in that room with me and my father-in-law, David Duran. No pressure, right? So I put my father-in-law in the car and we drive to the event. And during the event, there was no words said. We get to the venue, we set up, and I start speaking. Now, during the program, you should be focused on everybody, but I was focused only on one person, my father-in-law, David Duran, at the back of the room. And here's what he looked like. Now, help me out, everybody, for everybody at home. I'm having everybody here in the room cross their arms. So everybody cross your arms and give me that pit boss face. It's very serious, yes. So during the entire program, I'm doing this. There's laughs, there's smiles, and this is what David Duran looks like. He's just serious. When the speech is over, I decided to take a selfie because this is the first day of my full-time speaking career. So a week after being fired, I'm starting my speaking career. Look how everybody is the pictures are great, everybody's amazing, rock stars, superstars, I'm feeling great. But in the back of the room, cross your arms. David Duran still has his arms crossed. Now, once it's all over, as speakers, you're always going to have people want to take pictures with you, talk to you about, how they enjoyed your speech. So I'm doing that. But even while I'm doing that, I'm looking at my father-in-law. He has positioned himself now at the back of the room, at the exit area. He used to be a marketing exec for the phone company, so he worked his way up from not knowing English to being a marketing exec for the phone company. He is doing research, talking to everybody who walks out the door to get feedback on my speech. I wanted to get some feedback from him, but because the line is so long, I have to jump into the back of the line and sheepishly wait for my father-in-law to talk to him. And by the time I get up to him, I go, hey, David, what did you think? Arms still crossed. He goes, let's go home and talk about it. Now, I'm going to ask all of you right now, when someone says, let's go home and talk about it, what do you think's about to happen to me? We are literally on the high school campus where they shoot the show Breaking Bad. So anybody here, we're all adults in the room, by a show of hands, has anybody here acted like a child? Are there certain points where we revert back to acting like a child even though we're adults? Let me see if this one, and anybody here in the chat, I'm going to go watch right now. Chat, let me know. Has anybody here when you're a child, when you're about to get in trouble and your parents or any type of parental figure, somebody you looked up to in your life is about to come down hard on you, decides to bring a friend or a witness with you? Because you figure if there's a witness, then guess what? Nothing bad can happen to you, correct? So knowing that I'm at a speaker showcase and there's all these other speakers who have been meeting during the day and they don't want to go back and stay in the hotel. I mean, we're in a relationship business as speakers, everybody. So what you want to do is you want to build relationships. So what I did was I hear the laughs going on right now. I went back to the speaker's room and I go, hey, you guys don't want to hang out in the hotel. I was like, who would like to come back to my in-laws' house for a nice home-cooked New Mexican meal? 2 people said yes, so I had 2 sacrificial lambs to come back with me. Because he can't kill me if there's witnesses. So we went back to Poppy's house, and we hung out in his backyard. And this is his gazebo, and we decided to have the talk. Now, it's not that talk, because I know where'd she go. Like, we got off the rails last night, and we started talking about your talk here last night. So it wasn't a talk, but it was a talk about business, because he's worked in business. He's booked speakers and performers. I like to call this talk, because it lasted over 2 hours in a rainstorm, the Spanish Inquisition. And during this talk, one of the speakers came over with like a 6-pack of beer and brought that out. And during the talk, my father-in-law's arms are still crossed the entire time. And somehow the beer kept getting shorter as we were having this talk. But at the end of the talk, his arms finally came uncrossed. And he reaches out to me and he goes, "Frank, I love what I saw. This is what you're born to do. What can I do to help you?" I had feared sharing this because he had never seen me speak in 8 years. This is a person where I called him ahead of time to propose to him first before I proposed to his daughter. And at this point, he's saying, "Frank, you've got this. I know there's a grandchild on the way. What can we do? We'll get gift cards, help you with diapers, whatever you do." He's like, "This will be the hardest thing that you'll ever go for." I mean, this is a difficult career, everybody. But he goes, "I believe you can do it." So knowing now I've got my wife's backing and I've got my father-in-law's backing, I'm like, let's do this. I mean, and at that moment, everyone, I flipped my mindset. I mean, that's actually David right there. This is me a few weeks ago hanging out in his backyard. And even though I'm a speaker and do all this piece there, he's still happy doing his yard work. Yeah. But I said at that moment, what we did was I flipped my mindset. And when I flipped my mindset, I started to think of, okay, this whole group just went completely quiet. So let me go set this up the way that Tim Gard does, okay? Because right now what I'm doing is I'm doing a documentary, and I got my father's arms. Everybody cross your arms right now. And his arms came uncrossed, and he wagged his finger at me. And he goes, "Frank, this is what you're meant and born to do." And at that moment, everybody, when he did that to me, I mean, quite literally, I flipped my mindset. I flipped it so much that I even knocked the microphone off of me. So let me just go ahead and read this reset up. But I mean, help me out really quick. What is this? It's a spatula. Yeah. It's a flipper, okay, so spatula, flipper. Anybody, what is this for?
Flipping the pancake.
Here we go. To help you out. For everybody at home, Donna, guess what? I moved so fast, the microphone flew off of my head. I flipped the mic. But here's the key. Like you said, this is a spatula. But I want you to think about it. This is what the speaking business is all about. Whether you're a coach, a speaker, a trainer, there comes to a point where we have to think either literally or figuratively. So with the spatula, let's compare this to our speaking business. For many of us, we will talk and think about what we want to go do, but there's a point where we have to make the mental commitment. So for any of us here, how many people here cook? How many people like to cook? How many people should never even step in a kitchen? Okay. And even though you should never step into a kitchen, you've stepped in there at some point, correct? Yes. And even though you've never done it before, you go in there because you're hungry for something, correct? What's your name? Your name?
Oh, Josh.
Josh. So Josh, he's like, I shouldn't go in there. He's like, people bring out fire extinguishers. It's dangerous, like, you know. But are you worried about the judgments?
Yeah.
Sometimes, no. But I'm saying you still go in there, correct?
Yeah.
You have grabbed it. You said, you know what? No matter what happens, no matter the experience level, I'm going to do this. We all need to make that commitment. But from there, when we start to cook up something, does anybody here cook something where it's not going quite right? Have you ever had to flip something and say, hey, you know what, that's Cajun style? But within our careers and our businesses, everyone, we have to learn how to adjust. The spatula allows you to flip or adjust, get things off the side to make sure it's cooked the proper way. You have to be very flexible when you come to this career. But more importantly, here's the third piece. This is why I failed for the first 8 years. A spatula is used to do what? Serve. And when you're cooking up something, do you find more joy and pride in cooking for yourself, or do you find joy and pride cooking and serving others? You have to start learning how to serve others. And I want you to think about this in a sense of, what are you doing to cook up the results that you're hungry for in your careers? I mean, that's why we're here at the Engager Retreat, to figure out how we take this vision from, quote, vision to reality. So at that point, when I flipped my mindset and started thinking about, hey, I've never worked as a speaker before, I've never owned a business, but guess what? We're going to make this happen. We're going to figure it out. I mean, I jumped on the phone that day, started calling people, I got fired. I'm like, man, you sound excited. I'm like, I'm starting this speaking business. Quite simply, within a week, I'd booked out a week's worth of speaking. Because before, I was always trying to take time off in days, but because I had nothing to hold me back, I was committed because guess what, Josh? When we say we're going to cook something, it doesn't matter what people think, right? We do it. And if it doesn't turn out the right way, we still say that's what we planned for it to happen. So once that happened, I started to recognize, I'm like, okay, well, if I could do that in a week, what should I do more of? And I recognized this. I came from a 9-to-5 background. So those people had a 9-to-5 mentality. I needed to start hanging out with people who understand that there's going to be ups and downs in their career. I'd hang out with entrepreneurs and other speakers. They taught me that, hey, guess what, Frank? Even a burnt, okay? If you look right there, even a burnt meal doesn't stop you from being hungry. Because we've all, by show of hands, how many people have done something really wrong in their business? We learn and we grow from it. I mean, cooking, guess what? The best cooks learn from burning something or having some type of tragedy happen. We learn from those tragedies. Anybody in this room who steps on the stage, what they're sharing with you isn't their successes. They're sharing what they've learned from their mistakes. And one of the biggest mistakes people told me was, Frank, you got to hang out with the right people. You're hanging out with people who are consuming versus producing. And you have to ask yourself, are you a consumer or a producer? As a speaker, as a business owner, we're not there to consume content, we're there to produce content. I recognized I needed to hang out with other chefs. I wasn't hanging out with chefs. For me, I had to go join the National Speakers Association because those people were teaching me their recipes on how to grow as a speaker. Because I say your mindset is your mental cookbook. And if we have a cookbook with no recipes in it, what can we cook up? All the speakers who are going to be on stage last night, today, and tomorrow are here to share their recipes with you. Because when we see something that's cooked up well that we like, what do we ask for? The recipe. That's what everybody is here sharing. So once I started to talk to the people, they started telling me, Frank, here's what you have to do to build your business. Because number one is you're a business owner. You're not a speaker. You're not a coach. You're not a trainer. You're a business owner. After that, guess what? You're an expert. You're a content expert. So what are your expertise on? And then you deliver it through your speaking, your coaching, and your training. Whoa, that changed my perspective. And when I started to follow this advice, the work started to come in. And more work came in. And so much work came in, the National Speakers Association gave me a phone call in 2022. And they go, Frank, we'd like to invite you to Nashville, Tennessee. Because we have this thing called Certified Speaking Professional. We recognize you as one of the top professional speakers in the world. So I just been fired from my job, and now I'm going to go to Nashville, Tennessee to be recognized in front of over 1,200 speakers as one of the top speakers in the world. This is just proof to all of you that anything is possible, but nothing is easy. But then here's something I want to share with you right now, because we are making this into a learning lesson. For many of us as speakers, we think it's all about our story. And most speakers would stop right here in their keynote to talk about the glam and glitz that they received. But that's not why we're here. We're here to make an impact. Speakers speak. Professional speakers are there to make an impact. This is my story, but today we're here to create your story. How are we going to get you onto that big stage in life that you want to achieve? This is what I cooked up, and I think it's pretty amazing. But when you see somebody cook up something amazing, what do we say we ask them for? We ask them for their... So can I, over the next 20 minutes, share my recipe with you so all of you can get onto those big stages that you want to get on? Does that sound good? All right, so let's go ahead and walk through this, because what we're doing too is I'm showing you a sample of my keynote. One is how I move stage, how I move around, how I interact with people, how I use props like Tim. But we also have to have a little bit more, because the idea is when people walk out that door, they need something to apply. We need to have that call to action. So here's the first part when it comes to the recipe. Number one is you all have to recognize that you are amazing. Because every day we will wake up, we'll look at other speakers, coaches, and trainers, and we feel less than. Anyone ever been that way? You watch the successes of other speakers, and you wonder if you can ever get there. So here's how it works out. I want you to look at somebody next to you right now. Just give them a high five and say, you're amazing. For the people who are at home, as you're hearing this right now, you can just go ahead and give me a high five at your camera. So just give a high five to the camera and just say, I'm amazing. There we go. Or you can put in a chat and you go, you're amazing. Now, that was fun, but we've got to go a little bit deeper because the smiles aren't big enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this room here in person in half. At home on the chat, you can help me out. What we're going to do this time on the count of three, I'm going to kind of split the room up. So I'm going to come over to this side here. I'm going to go to the right side of the room. And everybody over this side, you are what I like to call my A-team because you're awesome. So the young lady here in pink, what's your name? Phyllis? Okay, so Phyllis, everybody on this side is on your team. This is my A team. So what we're going to do is they say it's not nice to point, but I'm going to ask my A team to point over here to my other side, which is my B team, which is my best team. Okay, and you're going to receive this, okay? So now, as I point to this group here on the count of 3, point over there and go, you do amazing work. On the count of 3, really loud, okay? You do amazing work. In the chat, you can type in, you do amazing work. So on the count of 3, ready, point. 1, 2, 3.
You do amazing work.
That was weak. So now, I'm going to come to my best team. Because we want to feel amazing, so you got to help this group out. So louder than they did it, really quick on the count of 3, point to them, you do amazing work. So ready? 1, 2, 3.
You do amazing work.
Okay, they're not in rhythm, but it sounded good. Now you know how this works out because speaking is all about the experience. So the more you do it, the better you get. So now that you know how this works, on the count of 3 in sequence, you do amazing work. Really loud, louder than them. So get ready. 1, 2, 3.
You do amazing work.
Woo, they're working now. But you've got more people, so you should be louder. So let's try this one more time. Really loud, make them feel it. 1, 2, 3.
You do amazing work.
And then finally, everybody look at each other. People in the chat, you can do this one too. On the count of 3, we can all yell it out in chat. Don't worry, you're muted, so it doesn't matter. So the people outside are just going to think that you're crazy. On the count of 3, I want you to tap yourself in the chest, look at each other on the count of 3. Everybody look at it and go, I know. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I know.
Here's what we have to do when it comes to the speaking business. You do amazing work. You are amazing people, but we don't feel that way all the time. In order to do amazing, you have to feel it. So the question becomes right now, and you can write this down. When you hear speakers say, write this down, that means it's something good coming. You can actually use that work. So don't tell people what to go do. Just kind of goes like, hey, write this down. How are you starting your day? You've got this big meal that you want to go cook up. But I got to ask you, how are you meal prepping your day? No one just jumps in the kitchen and starts cooking. You start to prep for it. So what are you doing? How many people here jump up and just start to look at their phone? Check their email. Go on social media. Look at the news. Check the sports scores. You're saying this career is the thing that's really important to you, but the question is, are you starting a day with what's most important to you? Our days can get off track. So what are you doing in the morning to make yourself and remind yourself exactly how amazing that you are? Now you know that you are amazing. You see the things. Maybe it's the books that you read. You do some exercise, prayer, meditation. Now we got to get cooking. We've got to get hungry, right? We got to flip the mindset. So as we said, we're amazing. We've stepped into this kitchen, but now we got to get cooking. And anytime we get cooking, we need a what? A recipe. And a recipe shows step-by-step actions. So I'm going to share with you the 5-part recipe needed to flip your mindset so you can take stale thinking into the fresh results that you are hungry for. Now, here's another little secret. Everybody always has phones in the audience. So I'm going to share this with you right now. I've been doing this for like the last year. If you don't want to write the notes up or type them up, go ahead and pull your phone out if it's not already out now. You can turn on the voice memo and you can record this next 5 minutes because it's very important. You can even shoot video of it. Even though John's going to give you the video, you can shoot video of this. Because I understand in any audience, we have 3 different learning styles. We've got our old school people. You're going to go write notes. So go ahead and write notes. Super old school people start to write it on a napkin. My new school people, you like to take pictures. So if you want to take pictures of the slide, take pictures of the slides. But then we have our third group. The world likes to call you lazy. I like to call you creative. The creative people understand at the end of the program, I will put a QR code up. And with that QR code, you'll answer a couple of questions, and I'll give you all the notes from today's program. So that way, everybody here is going to get the information that they need. How do we create that lasting impact? So here we go. I told you, don't think about it, don't talk about it. Speaking is all about how you live on stage and off stage. So here's the first thing I'd love for you to do. I want you to do these 5 things every day. First one is, I want you to live focused. And I want you to think about it. I'm taking you right now into my culinary class. I mean, can you imagine? I took 3 years of culinary. I almost went to cooking school. Can you imagine a guy named Mr. Kitchen showing up in culinary class? What happened there? But during these culinary classes, we start to learn is you have to live focused. Every recipe tells you exactly what's going to be produced, how much is going to be produced, how long it's going to take. So for all of you, I got to ask you the question as you write this down. What do you want? What's top of your mind? What are you thinking about? We got to put the work in. Whatever we focus on, the way the brain is wired is we will 10 times it. So stop saying what you don't want to happen, because anybody ever said that one? I hope I don't get, I hope that they like me, right? Well, we're hoping, we're wishing. We're always like, I'm going to do everything to get booked. Our brain and our body will multiply that. If you look at the bottom of the screen, it goes, where your brain goes, your body will follow. So where is your brain going? You have to focus on exactly what you want. And anybody here, just give me some feedback right now. Checks in the chat at home. You can go ahead and type something for me also. Is there anything that you like to eat or cook that everybody looks at you and thinks that you're weird? Okay, what about it, Mel? What do you like to eat?
Oh man, raw cookie dough.
Oh, Mel likes raw cookie dough. And what's some of the feedback you get for eating that raw cookie dough?
It's not healthy.
It's not healthy. But you like it, correct? It makes you smile?
I love it.
Right, you are unapologetic with sharing that with the world.
This is true.
Isn't it funny when we cook something, we don't care what anybody thinks. My mother-in-law right now goes, I want potato chips with ketchup. See, I heard the ew there. She doesn't care, but she's so focused on it, guess what? She'll ask everybody in the house for it, but at some point, somebody will bring it to her. So with our speaking, we have to be unapologetic. Are you a keynote speaker? Are you a coach? Are you a trainer? Do you want to be part-time, full-time? Do you want to work around the world? What do you want to speak on? How specific are you with what you want? If you just go, hey, I want more speaking work, then you're going to fail. How much speaking work do you want? How much do you want to be paid for that speaking work? As you start to work on it, your body will follow. So the first thing is you got to live focused. Be just like a recipe, laser detailed. Every recipe tells you exactly what's going to happen. But from there, we've got to live resourceful. So the resourceful people start thinking about what they have versus what they don't. And every recipe tells you exactly what you need to produce it, correct? And anybody here have a recipe where there's an ingredient and you have no clue what it is? And what do? You Google it, or you use AI. Well, what you're doing is you're asking. You're always seeking knowledge. The most successful speakers that I've met in this industry are asking questions all the time, no matter their experience level. They may do this 20 or 30 years, and they'll ask new speakers questions. So you got to ask yourself, are you always seeking knowledge? Are you pointing out problems or looking for solutions? We can always complain about what we don't have. So we got to live resourceful, so we think about it. Stop thinking about what you don't have, because anybody here, by show of hands, have you ever had every resource that you need? Then why do we spend all our time complaining about it? It's a given factor. But the biggest thing is we are in a relationship business. If you look around the room, right now in this room there's about 20 people here, 25 who are currently here. I forgot how many we've got online at home. We are one click or one swipe away from finding the answers that we need. We don't have to do all this by ourselves. The reason I failed the first 8 years was I tried to do it by myself versus I had other people who were experienced. I mean, Tim Gard, I sat with him in a mastermind. Tim just started sharing with me. Not where he's like, I want to see you successful. Other chefs love to share their recipe, and they're not trying to get anything out of it. So you got to ask yourself, are you being resourceful? Now from there, here's a tough one. You got to live enthusiastic. Anybody here help me out? I mean, what excites you about the speaking? Something that's intrinsic. So anyone here in the room? Creating. I mean, what do you love to create?
Engagement.
Engagement.
Mindsets.
Oh, yep, I got the microphone coming up. So they said experiences and mindsets.
Yeah, it's the process of creating. One thing that I've noticed about you and Tim and other speakers is, you have taken your content and perfected it over and over again. And for me, I guess I'm looking for ways not to get bored of doing the same thing over and over again, which is why I'm always creating something new. Yeah. So creation is part of the fun, and maybe you could share an idea of how to really dig deep and continue the creative process.
Well, here's the piece about the creative process. If we compare it to cooking, many times we will cook something, but we're constantly trying to refine it or add something a little bit different to it or make it healthier. Speaking is the same way. It's never going to be the same. Many speakers are like, hey, when I do this, I'm 100% complete. Every speaker in this room is going to tell you it's never 100% complete. About every 6 months, we're always working to refine it. Hey, we might put a little sprinkles on it, or we might change the flavor. I told people the cake stays the same, but the frosting changes. That's our speaking, but that's something that excites us. Anybody here, are you excited about the thank yous? Yeah, I mean, isn't it fun when someone comes to you afterward and said, hey, you know what? I'm applying what you taught me. Our brain is designed to manage our, energy, okay? And it's not designed to want to work. So if we make something think about it's going to be hard work, then we're not going to do it. But we drop that little bit of a dopamine effect where we start to get excited about what we want to go and do, things change. For me, here's the excitement. Whether I'm on planes, trains, cars, automobiles, I think about my family. This is my wife, Kelly, my daughter, Olivia, and my son, Elijah. Speaking allows me to be there for them and to have a manageable or flexible schedule. Coaching their sports teams, or think about this one. Over my last 48 hours, I have driven to New Mexico to drop my kids off with my mom to help out for my father-in-law's 80th birthday, which is tomorrow. I've flown back to Phoenix to do a 7 o'clock in the morning MC for a fundraising deal. I flew here last night to hang out with all of you and talk to many of you afterwards, and now I'm speaking, but I'm going to be back on a plane today to get home at midnight to get ready for a party tomorrow. Now, if I think about all that work, would I want to go do it? But knowing today that I'm watching the kids prep for the party, get everything set up, and we get to go trick-or-treating, and my schedule allows my wife to be away from home for 6 weeks to take care of her father after a hip surgery, and the kids get to be with her because she homeschools them, and my mom is involved too, doesn't that excite you? That's what we get to do. So what excites you about the business? Now from there, even though exciting, and it drives us, we have to live strong, and I want you to live mentally strong. So I say mentally strong, what are we feeding our brain every day? Are we feeding our brain in our mental fire, or are we pouring water on it? I encourage all of you to have taste testers. My favorite number is 4, but when I say a taste tester, do you have a group of people who understand exactly what you're trying to cook up? That you're willing to listen to their feedback, to where you share with them what you're doing, and they're going to tell you what works and what doesn't work. What are you doing to feed your mind? You got to hang out in the kitchen, and you got to hang out with other chefs. From there, I need you to live honest. And when I say live honest, you have to live honest with yourself first. This is a difficult industry. But for many of us, we lie. We try to justify why things aren't working out, so stop lying to yourself. We wait, which means you wish an idea turns out. Stop waiting. Put in the work right now. You can read a book. You can talk to a person. You can contact them on LinkedIn. What are you going to do? And here's a big one, everyone. Stop caring. And when I say stop caring about the people who don't care and value you. You're going to have a lot of people tell you need to quit this. You need to go get a real job. But when you hang out with other speakers and entrepreneurs, they're going to let you know exactly what you need to do to make this happen. And remember, if you're afraid to share your dream, then you're afraid to live it. Any of us who are ever hungry, we love sharing exactly what we want. And we got to remember our past successes. And I'm going to be honest with you. It was great to be up on that stage being recognized as a CSP. But the most impactful moment for me was this, and this is what we have to think about as speakers. It's not about serving ourselves, it's about serving others. And this is the moment that I loved about the CSP process. This is my son, Elijah. When I started my speaking career, he saw me in the garage typing up stuff and doing different work. He's been around it since he's born. And once I got the CSP call, he goes, "Hey, Dad." I'm like, "Yeah, do we get to go?" Because they always dropped me off at the airport. They never got a chance to go. And when I said yes, he's like, "Okay, good. Do I have to get dressed up?" Because he always sees Dad get dressed up for the events. So after I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, I don't have a suit." Now, let me explain my son really quick. He's on the autism spectrum, and he has a difficult time processing. So he needs to know every detail, and that allows him to calm down his nervous system. So he goes, "I don't have a suit." I'm like, "Okay, let's go get one." So we got a suit. He goes, and after you understand he got his suit, he went and looked in the closet. He goes, "Dad, I've got a gray suit. You've got a gray suit." Because I'm known for wearing green. It's the color of growth and action. He goes, "Dad, I got a pink shirt. You've got a pink shirt." Then he also called our friend who owns a clothing store and got matching father-son bow ties. He goes, "Dad, let's dress alike." So during the conference, as we're about to go up on stage, I hadn't changed yet. My wife's like, "Hey, let's get back and change because we don't want to pour water on his fire. Let's fuel it." So we got back to the room. I changed. We're walking down the hall. He's holding my mom's hand, holding my hand. He goes, "Dad." I'm like, "Yeah." They're going to think we're before and after. At that moment, I told people, this is when I truly felt fresh. All the work paid off, and I was living what I just taught to all of you. I'm living focused, resourceful, enthusiastic, strong, and honest. And we're coming down towards the end of time, so I got to do this really quick, but I want to have some fun with you right now. When you look at the word fresh, is that a positive term or a negative term? Positive, right? I mean, you can just think about things that are positive with the word fresh. So close your eyes really quick and think of something that's fresh to you. And I bet you smile. Okay? Now you can open your eyes. Now, thinking about what you had in your head, I want you to say the word fresh, thinking about that positive thing in your mind. Okay, so live it, because it's not how we think or what we say, it's how we live. So on the count of 3, say the word fresh. 1, 2, 3. Fresh. See, I mean, look at the smiles. I mean, people at home, they're smiling. I'm even seeing the smiles right now. Joe's smiling back there in her castle. She's having a great time. We're all smiling. But here's the big piece about speaking, everyone. We will not be remembered by what we think or what we say. They're watching how we live on stage and off stage. So this last one, I want you to live the word fresh. because at one point I asked the group to say the word fresh, and in the back of the room, the person goes, fresh, and it went super long. I'm like, that's fun. Let's turn that into an activity, a learning exercise. So this time on the count of 3, here's what we're going to do, and there'll be a prize involved. Remember Tim said give things away? So we're going to give some things away. Here's what I'll do. I'll give away signed copies of my books. Ooh, and a little baby spatula. Oh, so really quick, here's how we have to go and do this one. I'm going to ask you to say the word fresh, but you're going to live it. You're going to go fresh for as long as possible. The person who goes the longest wins. One long continuous fresh. The person who goes the longest without dying wins. But there are a couple quick rules. I have to make sure we have the waiver signed here. Number 1, as of February 28th, 2022, I am no longer CPR certified. So if you start turning engaging retreat colors, please let it go. After that, where are my creative, funny people? Tim?
Right here.
Yep. Don't go shh, 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 shh. It's one long shh. And if anybody turns this into choir practice, where we cannot hear you, that doesn't count either, so police everybody. So what we're going to do is, I need someone to help me out. Who'd like to hold the spatula? Okay, I got Kiva right here, so Kiva, hold it up. What we're going to do is, everybody grab your mental spatula in your hand right now, hands up high. You're going to say fresh. As long as your hand's up high in the air, then guess what? You're in the game. When you start to lose it, your hand comes down. Last hand in the air. So we're going to do fresh. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Fresh. Bring it down there, Keith. There we go.
It's
Just like in a meditative state over here.
I think Gary's very relaxed.
We have our winner up front here. I don't know what's going on with her brain scan, but what's your name?
Vinny.
Sorry?
Vinny.
Vinny. So Vinny is our fresh champion.
Yay! She does breathing exercises. I think she's got a little.
And that's the learning point here, everyone. And this is going to pick up on what Tim said. Thank you so much. I got to ask you really quick. Do you meditate, yoga, run, swim, play an instrument? How did you do that?
I meditated for about 15 years.
She's been meditating for 15 years. Because what we just did, everybody, when we do, quote, icebreakers, energizers, games, we do them, but we have no reason to it. But what we can do is we can tie it into our speech, and that was a visual learning exercise. For many of us, for the next 2 days, we've learned a lot here over 3. We're going to see all this information. We want to live fresh. We're going to go, shh, and we're going to burn out on Monday when we get back to our offices. For this career, you have to be consistent with the work that you put in, because she didn't use any more energy than anybody else. She just spread that energy out very consistently. And I want to let you know that's how we get successful at this business. Because when you're living fresh, you're cooking up the results that you are hungry for while you inspire, educate, and empower others to do the same. That's what we do as professional speakers, coaches, and trainers. We're inspiring people, we're educating people, and we're empowering them to go out and replicate what we just taught them. And what you saw there, what you saw it visually. So here's what I want for all of you. I want you to go out and live fresh. In order to do that, here's our quick QR code. For people at home, remember it's talk.ac/Frank Kitchen, and the password is going to be the word fresh. Okay? We can bring that down just a little bit for me. Uh-oh, let's go back because the fresh did not pop up. So when you do that QR code, you're going to type in the word fresh, F-R-E-S-H, and my team will get you all of today's notes plus a special workbook that's called Flip Your Mindset 30 Activities to cook up the results that you're hungry for, so you'll get that free workbook. Also, for those of people who are worried about child labor laws, they are good. I feed those kids. So once you get the picture taken, you can go ahead and answer those questions there. And then more importantly, here's what I want to leave you as we go home. I see all the phones that are down right now is this one. We all feel good here in the room. We all feel good at home virtually. And we come to programs like this, see lots of amazing speakers who are going to train us, and we go, you know what, I'm going to start working on this. But we know once we get out of the doors, out of our house, we're back into the real world. Family, friends, other responsibilities. It changes our perception on how we see things. For me, I shared with you earlier, where our mind goes, our body follows. And I said earlier, I thought my mom was evil for giving me this name, Frank Cornelius Kitchen. But when we have the ability to flip our mindset, we start to see things in a different way. We start to ask questions. I go, Mom, why did you give me this name? And she goes, well, I gave you this name because I want to let you know who you are, where you come from, and where you can go. I named you after your father, my father, and the room in the house that brings everybody together. I was like, whoa. So I started to see things in different ways. Like, but Mom, what about these initials? And this is Edie, Matt, Gordon right now. That's with the kids hanging out. But I go, but what about these initials? And she's like, I can't do much about that. But then I talk to some amazing people like yourselves, and you go, Frank, you're so busy focusing on the negative, which we do as speakers, you don't see what you have. Yes, you've got 21 letters, but you're focusing on the wrong letters. You're focusing on some special letters in your name. And what she was letting me know was this in the audience. When you focus the right way, everybody, and you flip your mindset, it allows you to recognize exactly how you and all of us can live, which is we can all live fresh. Thank you so much for allowing me to serve all of you today. Please stay in contact. And for the people who are here in person, this is the beauty of coming into person to the Engaging Retreat. Sometimes you have to place your flag to exactly let people know exactly what you're doing. And I know a lot of people here can live fresh, so I've got a Live Fresh flag for everybody here in the room for participating. I've got my photographer here. He's getting really excited because Adam got his. He's like, I was back there doing fresh. So thank you so much for allowing me to be here, and have a great rest of the Engaging Retreat.
Frank Kitchen! Frank, thank you so much. I know we'll have someone help pass this on, or you can do it yourself right after you get off stage here. You know, Frank, I've gotten a chance to meet you. One of the special parts that Frank and I have gotten to share, Frank was the person who called me and let me know that I became a certified speaking professional. It was one of the best phone calls of my professional life.
And he was sobbing, and there's tears.
I was like that. It was really, if you've never had this experience, it is an experience in your lifetime that you want to have as a speaker. And then it means so much more afterwards. Frank, I have this gift to you. You are engaging, but more importantly, like I know you and you value your family so much that I've got this gift not for you, right? This is an amazing gift for your wife, right?
Can you get down on one knee for this?
Well, you put on me, but you're going to give it to her.
Sorry, Donna.
I'm engaged to Frank Kitchen. We're cooking up a child. Just kidding.
Do it again, take pictures again.
Oh, with a flag. Oh, there we go. Okay, fine.
Oh, she's like, get the flags, put the clicker down, put the... John, do you promise to make this the most engaging retreat ever?
I do.
Around the world.
I do. So thank you. This is again for your amazing family, and I don't think I remember that story about your amazing son during your CSP, but that's the highlight moment that you're really looking for. One last piece. Frank will be around here too. For those who are online, Frank is actually going to hang out with Joe for a little bit. If you have online questions for Frank, make sure and hit the chat because he's got to head to the airport, right, for your
Yep, got it. I got to get ready for the birthday party tomorrow.
One more time, Frank Kitchen!